This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, Dr. Thomas Dudney, and the Green Monster Fishing Light. Now, back to Bubba on the Lake.
B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake. In the mellow yellow studio, putting on a show. Betty say, what? She always on the go. We got Hunter Bus sitting at master control. Don't wanna miss a moment, cause Bubba's got the flow. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. Wishing I could listen to the show every day, hey. Gotta hear what Bubba and his buddies gotta say on B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A, hey. B-U-double-B-A on the lake, hey.
Welcome, friends, neighbors, and associates everywhere. I'm your semi-retired, mostly washed-up host, formerly of the Rick and Bubba Show, and now your host of Bubba on the Lake, Bill Bubba Bussey at your service. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for your patience as we begin Podcast 48. We were out last week with laryngitis, still not 100%, but much better than it was. And we wanted to get back. We've had so much going on that we need to cover. It's just crazy right now. I would say at the forefront, Operation Epic Fury. We have taken out the leadership of Iraq. I should say Iran. I'm sorry. And I was just listening to the briefing from General Dan Raisin Kane. He is the 4-star general in charge of our Joint Chiefs of Staff, and he was briefing everybody on the operation. Much bigger than I thought it was. A lot of planes involved, the B-2. There were 4 B-2s that flew from the continental United States to take part in that operation. The Ayatollah was taken out and 40 of his top henchmen, and it is a historic opportunity for the people of Iran to choose their own leadership. And these guys have been a sponsor of terrorism, not only in the region, but around the world. And the place is, the world's a better place with them gone, no doubt about it. So I appreciate our military. They have operated once again with efficiency that could only be imagined a few years ago. It's, it costs a lot, I know, to keep our military up and on the cutting edge. But, when they start the briefing by saying the 2 leading components to our attack was the Cyber Force and Space Command, and then they went from there. That should tell you about the new world we live in. So, when you have a crazy dictatorship like Iran had, that constantly is threatening the world with nuclear weapons and working as hard as they can to get one. And folks, don't kid yourself. I know whatever you're doing today, you're going to work, you're going to school, you probably got ball games to attend, some TV shows you want to catch up on. These people would use these weapons if they had them, okay? Just like the folks that attacked us on 9/11. If they had a nuclear weapon, they would launch it against us and or Israel in a moment's notice. So we just can't let them have it. It's that simple. Just can't let them have it. They don't show adult responsibility with this. They're not trying to get this for defensive purposes. They want to destroy Israel. They want to wipe it off the map. They think this is part of their religious calling to do so. And sadly, that is in conflict with our religious calling, which is to protect Israel. As a Christian, I feel like that is a commandment that is still valid. I know we could probably debate that with some folks, but I'm really not going to spend the time to do it because I read it and it says we should protect Israel, and we will be blessed for doing it. Case closed. And that is part of what this has been done. Now, if you don't want to take the biblical approach to it, you just want to look at it strategically, this is an ally in the region that we need, that is a democracy that is very productive. They do a lot of things, and they have a lot of enemies around them. And we have helped to prop them up, and we need to continue to do so, just from a military strategic standpoint. All right. We'll have more on that on coming podcasts as more information becomes available. We're also trying to get a hold of David Nasser again, our friend who fled Iran when the Ayatollahs took over. His podcast, by the way, was very, very positive here on the show. Got a lot of feedback about it. And let me pull it up here real quick, and I'm going to tell you which one it was. I hope I can look at it right quick. Episodes. Let's see. He was back here. When was that? I should have had that pulled up. I apologize. I am not being professional today. That's number 19, podcast 19. So that was back in June when the U.S. military forces struck the nuclear facility. So it was really, David, I've known a long time. He's a very, very strong believer. He's an evangelist. And he shared with us his desire to go to Tehran and hold, hold services, to hold a revival, to spread the word of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I'm going to tell you, we're closer to that today than we've ever been. And that excites me, and I know it's going to excite him. I've been in contact with him, as you can imagine. He's in high demand, and we're going to try to get him on board here at some point. But we'll bring you more of that as it comes available. A couple of other things on this podcast. I hope that we can get Andy and talk about I Can Only Imagine 2, the movie. Saw that. It is a powerful movie, spoke to me personally. The first movie was great, don't get me wrong, but in my opinion, I like this one better. The story, about Mercy Me and Bart, their lead singer, was very touching, but I think this one is something that every Christian can relate to. A crisis of faith. When you are doing what you feel like is the right thing, but somehow everything's not working out. When you pray for the mountain to be moved and it's not moved, what do? It creates a crisis of faith. And this movie deals with that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like movies that make me cry. Old Yeller comes to mind immediately. And I try to avoid movies that make me want to cry, but I did tear up in this one, and it spoke to me. It really did. And it reminded me just how thankful we should be for every day, every breath, good, bad, or otherwise. When you open your eyes every day, what a blessing. And, what we make of it is up to us. We certainly all deal with different things in different times and different ways, but God is there to help us get through it, and it deals with that. And it was very, very, very touching. Also, a little later in the podcast, I want to tell you about the fun run. You've heard us promoting that over the past few weeks here on the program. And that was this past weekend. Got out to be the official starter of that. I think you hopefully have seen the pictures online. But we had a lot of fun with that. We want to cover a little bit more about that too. Also, there's a lot here because we missed a week and we had a lot going on. We have been to Atlanta with Stuart Brockwell, our Titan of Tech that you hear here on the program, and he has picked up a Cybertruck. So we have seen the process all the way from ordering on the app to going to pick it up, and we're covering that. Now, Hunter stepped in for me and did some commentary because I had laryngitis. And he did a real good job with it. So we'll share those with you. Probably not on this podcast, but it'll probably be on podcast 49. That's the plan right now as we record this. I want to say, too, one of the reasons I had laryngitis was the crazy weather, but it also was we at Jacksonville State had been hosting the Northeast Regional High School Basketball Tournament for the past 2 weeks. And trying to communicate over that noise probably had part to do with me losing my voice also. But what a great event. I was a part of it last year. We, for the most part, for the better part of 2 weeks, we have games from, 9 in the morning to 6 at night. And the athletic staff at Jack State does a wonderful job hosting this and working with the Alabama High School Athletic Association. And those folks did a great job. And it takes it from everybody to pull this off. And what is really impressive, and I don't think a lot of people may know on face value, voice going away here a little bit, excuse me. These folks who are working this tournament and making it happen are also having to do their regular job with the Jack State athletic programs. And that doesn't stop. We don't get a timeout during that. So everybody is really stretched to the max. But it is such a good event, and it is such a good time to get so many people on our campus at Jacksonville State and let them see what we're doing and how we're growing and how that this could be a great match for a lot of these kids coming out of high school and for their parents. And a lot of them went there, and they've come back and they're blown away by what they're seeing. And, this move to Division I is it's a big time move, and it costs money, and you make more money, hopefully. And it's a big business operation, and it takes a lot of folks to pull it off, and they do a wonderful job. So just wanted to mention that. I enjoyed seeing so many of the players, coaches. I ran into a lot of old friends that I knew, met a lot of friends, new friends that had listened to the radio show or the podcast, and they were reaching out and very, very kind to talk to all of them. And I hope I was able to give you enough, even though I couldn't talk for most of it. So there you go. We got a lot on the table. We've got a run. We've got fun run. We've got I Can Only Imagine 2. We had the basketball tournament and a trip to Kennesaw, Georgia to pick up a Cybertruck. So a lot on the table here for the next 2 podcasts. We're going to try to focus on I Can Only Imagine 2. If we can get Andy Erwin on the phone, we're scheduled to talk to him here in just a minute, and hopefully we can get that and get the details. And I would encourage you to go see the movie. It's if you're a believer, if you have gone through those rough patches, maybe you're going through a rough patch right at the moment. Very powerful message in the movie. And I would highly encourage you to see it. All right, folks, buckle in. We got a lot to cover, and we will be right back in just a minute. Thanks for listening to Bubba on the Lake.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll be right back.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
At Central State Bank, we believe community banking is more than just transactions. It's about relationships. For over 100 years, we've been helping neighbors grow, businesses thrive, and dreams become reality. Because when you bank local, you invest in your community. Central State Bank, large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. Visit us today or learn more at centralstatebank.com. Member FDIC.
You know one thing I love about Buffalo Wild Wings? You can get wings with any of their 26 sauces and dry rubs for takeout and delivery. That's like bringing an entire B-dubs home with you, which you can't do. I tried. I've knocked down so many walls, only to then be told to halt construction because I'm not zoned to be a sports bar. Kind of just looks like a big pergola or something because of the lack of walls. At least these 26 sauces and dry rubs are available to go. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
Another staff meeting, another push for cross-selling, another awkward silence. Then Banker Bounty happened. The first referral platform made just for banks. One app that empowers every employee, not just your top producers, to bring in business. No more spreadsheets, no more silos, just clarity, culture, and actual growth in real time. Banker Bounty fixes more than your referral program. It fixes your momentum. Go to bankerbounty.com, watch the video, book your free demo. Banker Bounty, create, manage, and track referrals in real time.
Hey everyone, it's HB. Just hopping in to let y'all know, due to some technical difficulties, the first couple minutes of this interview are unavailable, but please enjoy the rest of the interview and the rest of the episode. Thanks.
Dads. It's a movie that really communicates to fathers, and so that father-son dynamic carries into this one, and it really finishes the whole idea in a way you didn't know you needed.
Well, you know, the first one was great, and Bart Millard, his relationship with his dad was key, and this one kind of picks up. I don't want to give the whole plot away, but things are going great, but he has what I would call, and what you guys call, a crisis of faith. And I think any of us who are believers who've lived long enough in this fallen world has had a crisis of faith. I mean, we love the mountaintop times that we walk very close with the Lord, but there's times that it just ain't happening, and sometimes you just got to put your head down and keep the faith, right?
Yeah, man, and that's the part that really spoke to me, was just this idea that I think we're always sold kind of a happily ever after, like everything, you know, you're going to have your moment where everything works out, and then after that your life stops being, you know, a struggle. And I think it's, you know, it's a little bit of the society we're raised in, it's a little bit of the church, but I just think it's this false hope. And so this idea is like, what happens if your happily ever after breaks? You know, what if you get everything you ever dreamed of, but the audience stops applauding and they go home and life goes back to being hard? Where is God then? And you know, Bart goes through some struggles where now, you know, he's got a son, but his son has a really intense health issue with his type 1 diabetes, and just a lot of series of misfortunate events happen that kind of throw Bart back into a spiral. And on that journey, this new character, Tim Timmons, who's played by Milo Ventimiglia from the TV show This Is Us and, you know, Gilmore Girls and that kind of thing. And he comes in and just has this radical gratitude. I know you're a big fan of Gilmore Girls, sure, but he has this radical candor of, that's your jam. But he has this idea that you know, this radical gratitude that he lives with, and it comes out that Tim has been carrying the secret about his own health journey that's pretty severe, and is living with this idea of grief and gratitude, and kind of gives Bart this gift, and it leads to this gorgeous song that the movie really kind of rallies around, Even If. And so telling that story was really special and bringing it to life, and I think it gives people real life hope of where they're at in their journey.
You know, Andy, I think too, being, you know, we've never experienced it on that level, but I thought you guys really captured the camaraderie with the band when they're out on the road. Yeah. You know, that happens. Even with Christian groups, you got a lot of guy stuff going on there. And I thought that was really great that you showed that, because I could relate to that. And also the the struggle of leaving your family, even if you're going to do something. I mean, if you're preaching, if you're singing, or just, whatever the dad's job is, it's tough to leave home because there's always issues there.
Yeah. That whole dynamic. I was glad that we got the band back together. It was funny. We called everybody when John Michael Finley, that plays Bart in the original, got him back on this one. I called him and I said, listen, Finley, there's two ways this goes down. You either say yes to the movie, or I drive up to your home in New Jersey, we kidnap you, and then you say yes to the movie. And so having him back in was great. And then the rest of the band just had this great chemistry. And so Trace Adkins is never a dull moment. And just the banter on the road and being on that bus was such a blast to kind of capture that side. And I think it's a side of music that a lot of people that haven't been around it don't get to see. But I do think that pressures of fatherhood, of like, how do I do what I'm called to do and not lose my family in the process? And, it was really cool when we did the test screenings for the movie. We had, test screenings are always terrifying. It's like, it's where they, you take what you've worked on for 2 years and have the audience tell you if you succeeded or failed. And it can get really brutally honest. But this one scored really well with the test audience. The first movie was our highest testing movie we've ever done. It scored a 96, and this one scored a 97. And so it was definitely, unexpectedly better. But one of the things in the test audience, there was this one lady on the front row, and very opinionated lady. And she, during the feedback section, she's like, I love the movie, but I wish Bart would get his act together. He's had 15 years to figure out how to be a good father. And it got really quiet, and nobody responded. And then all of a sudden, this other guy, about 5 seats down, kind of sheepishly raised his hand, kind of shaking. And he's like, I don't want to cause a big conflict, but that's exactly how I feel as a dad. And then pretty much every other man in the audience was like, me too, me too, me too. And I just think there's just something about, you don't have to get it perfect, that God's in the messiness and you're the father. Fight for your kids. And that's the heart behind the film.
Well, I know that if I was around Bart every day, every time he had a problem, I would suggest that there's another movie in it. He's going to get kidded about that a lot.
Yeah. It's like,
Bart has trouble at the DMV. And so I can't imagine 3,
Yeah, it's me. I'm always kind of sneaking up on him, taking notes. It's like, he's like, Andy, I'm glad that I have a friend that is loyal enough to turn all of my misfortunes into a movie. But right. Yeah, man, I'm always taking notes. I'm like, what, you had a bad day? Okay, tell me about it.
Yeah. I mean, you're sitting in Nashville going, I hope Bart has a disaster. We could have number 3 and 4 here,
Exactly. It's like, I'm so sorry, Bart. I'm really sorry. Talk about that. What actually happened? So, yeah, I'll take it.
Oh, me. Andy, tell us what else is going on with you. You got back into directing this movie. You do a lot of producing. You've had a lot of movies, and you've let us be a part of a few of them. We've enjoyed that. And what's next for you? And catch us up on you and your brother, what y'all are both doing.
Well, I'm always grateful for you, Bubba, because I remember you took pity on me, because when we did our very first movie, October Baby, I stood outside your studio, and with the glass window there, I just held up the little poster DVD for our movie and said, please put us on the air. And I think you just kind of wandered by at some point, like, this poor guy is not going away. Let's give him a shot. And so yeah, there's a lot of history there. There's a lot of history. But yeah, we get the chance to still tell movies. The thing that's exciting right now is, when we started, the idea of doing faith films, we could literally clear out any room, in Hollywood. They'd be like, what do you do? They're like, I was like, we make, Christian movies. They're like, where are you from? Like Birmingham, Alabama. And they're like, they would kind of run from the room like I had some sort of disease. And, sure. But, years later, there's just a real hunger for content that has value and really pushes the idea of hope and something to believe in. And so it's a great time to be a Christian in Hollywood right now. So my brother is doing his TV series House of David that he's doing at Amazon, and they're going into, I think they're trying to get season 3 off the ground, and I get to be, I'm a producer from a distance on that, but that's his baby that he has been filming over in Greece for the better part of 2 years. And then with films, we've got several that are coming up that I'll be producing one that we're shooting in May that's going to be announced really soon that I'm excited about, that we'll be shooting up in Canada. And then I've got my Fearless movie I've talked about. It's a Navy SEAL story based on that book, which is a fantastic book. And then we've got 2 other films that we'll announce soon. One of those I'll direct that I am over the moon about. And I'm writing the script right now with a co-writer, and this one is going to be a game changer. So I wish I could announce the names, but the last time I did that, I offered a friend a scoop, and then it ended up being a headline, and then I got yelled at by the studio. So, keep me talking long enough. I'll tell them myself, and I'll tell you all the details, but I'm going to try to shut up before I give it all away.
Look, Andy, we don't have to break any news here. Just let us know when you need us, and we'll help spread the word best we can. It's no pressure here because at the lake we laid back. You know what I mean, brother?
I think at the lake I've got to come hang out in person next time. We actually need to be on the lake when we're doing this interview. That's great.
Well, listen, anytime you're down this way, we'd love to jump on the pontoon with you and catch up. So you just let us know when you're going to be in the neighborhood, and we'd love to host you for sure. Andy Erwin, he is the director behind I Can Only Imagine 2. Great movie. You need to see it. If you're a believer, I think it will really touch you. And you can still see I've got some. I haven't reapplied today, but I still got the X on my wrist from where I washed it off yesterday. So, Andy, thank you for taking time. I know you're extremely busy. Come see us, brother. We love you.
Bubba, you're a good friend. Talk to you soon.
Where's Bubba?
I'll tell you where. He's on the lake.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Grab a latte at Brew 63, linger over lunch at Fanny's, or take in a Lake Martin sunset at Kalijah Restaurant. Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Attention business owners, print buyers, and production managers. Guaranteed Labels is here to help you focus less on your printing, labels, decals, and focus more on growing your business. Guaranteed Labels wants to be your reliable printer. Quality, on-time shipments, and stock programs set us apart. If you're needing to focus less on your printing and more on your business, trust Guaranteed Labels, 205-640-4552 or guaranteedlabels.com. Guaranteed Labels, still sticking since 1988.
When you need urgent care, Southern Immediate Care is here for you. Illness doesn't follow a 9-to-5 schedule, so we offer support 7 days a week at convenient locations throughout Birmingham and Northeast Alabama, dedicated to serving all ages from children to adults. Southern Immediate Care offers occupational medicine services, including DOT physicals and testing. At Southern Immediate Care, your health is our top priority. Visit southernimmediatecare.com or call 205-409-2794.
Well, folks, we were able to finally get in touch with him. He's in high demand. He was on podcast number 19, and we're glad to have him back today in light of the historical happenings in Iran. David Nasser. David, how are you, sir?
Hey, my friend. How are you doing? I'm doing good, but I just love your voice. Miss hearing your voice. You know, when I used to live in Birmingham, you were my alarm clock. I woke up to Rick and Bubba every day. Just hearing your voice right now just feels like home.
Well, it's a little hoarse right now. I'm still fighting through a little laryngitis, but You know, it's hard not to talk right now with everything going on in the world. We had Operation Epic Fury. It is still going on. I saw just mere moments ago the Israeli Defense Force has told citizens in Iran to take cover because they're coming back. David, just give me your thoughts on all of this. This is incredible historical happening 47 years after Iran fell to these, I don't know what you want to call them, these radical, crazy men.
Tyrants.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, first of all, just having family and friends there, and being someone who, you know, when the revolution happened, and I was a 9-year-old kid, you know, we escaped and came, you know, it's different for me than the people that are still there. You know, we have family that didn't get out, and we were able to get out. And so right off the bat, you know, America has been the land of opportunity, the American dream for my family. But we've always had a second dream as well. Like, the second dream has been, and one day we'd love to see the people in Iran liberated. You know, we got out, but they're still there. And so I say this to say, I feel overwhelming hopefulness, but at the same time, I know that it's terrifying and exhilarating, you know, for our family. And it just feels like, wow, you know, this might be it. You know, this might finally be the moment where these tyrants are toppled over, and this could be the dream come true that we've all been praying for so many years.
David, the facts of of this terrorist group has been laid out today. The number of people they have killed, the number of Americans they have killed, and the way they have funded terrorism all over the globe is just amazing. I want to point out, too, that back during President Obama's term, he actually released $400 million in cash and another $1.5 billion in frozen assets, trying to make peace with these guys, and all they did was turn around and fund terrorism at a level we've never seen before.
Yeah. I don't know how you make peace with people that want you dead.
No, I don't either.
You know, if a wild animal is coming at my little girl, you know,
yep.
I don't think I'm going to be able to negotiate with it.
Right.
I've got to protect, you know, my little girl, and I think this is ultimately a battle for the good people of Iran. They've got to get in there in the ground war and actually make this happen. But the overwhelming sentiment has been gratitude that true allies have come in to help us. You know, they, for lack of better terms, do the air war to get this thing going, to give it, you know, the proper push. And I think the people in Iran were going to do this with or without America's help. You know, they murdered 30,000 Iranians in the last few months alone.
Oh, yeah. That were protesting the way they were being treated.
Yeah, but it's one thing if I've got to go cut 10 acres of grass with a rusty push mower, and then it's a whole other thing if you say, hey, I got to ride more, let me help you. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it felt like the other day.
Listen, I know.
America came and said, let us get you going. And, man, I think in years to come, this moment will be a moment of connection between America and Iran. And I think a healthy Iran isn't just better for the people of Iran. I think it's better for you in Alabama and me in Tennessee. You know, I think it's a safer world for my grandkids here in America. So, man, it's an amazing moment, you know. Now, that said, you know, Bill, like, even if this thing does fully topple over, then the rebuilding comes, you know, and that's going to be a long road to hoe. I mean, we're talking about a nation that for centuries, for over 40 years, like you just said, has been oppressed. But let me just tell you, man, Iranians have the heart of a lion, and especially the women of Iran. They're relentless, and I think they're going to fight back, and they're going to run back. And the good thing about Iran is it's sitting on a lot of oil.
Yep.
And it's got a lot to offer the world in the arts and in culture and academics, but it's also a wealthy nation. And so I think within our lifetime, we could see Iran be a great asset to the world. And And here's my dream. Can I just tell you, my great vision for this, my prayers for this, Bill, is not just that Iran goes from the most dangerous nation in the world that harbors and funds terrorism to just becoming a safer place. I pray that it becomes the most dangerous place in the world in years to come for the spread of the gospel and advancing the gospel. That it becomes the gospel. Because here's what I can tell you. The people in Iran are sick and tired of bad religion, false religion. They're sick and tired of what I call religion gone wrong that's been crammed down their throat, for all these years. But they are wide open to true religion. They're wide open to the gospel. As a matter of fact, the fastest growing church in the world right now, Bubba, is the underground church in Iran. And so what's it look like in the next few years if the global church partners with the underground church, which won't have to be underground anymore in Iran, and, all of a sudden, like, revival is breaking out in Iran. And so that's what I'm hoping. I want more than, the liberation of Iran. I want more than a new revolution for Iran. I want revival for Iran, and that's what I'm praying for.
David, I know you. We've talked about this since I first met you. I'm looking forward to the day that David Nasser takes the stage in Iran and leads a massive revival. I think that day is coming. I think that day is coming.
Man, you know what's so crazy that you just said that? So Saturday morning, Bill, and man, I've done, this is my 7th interview,
Right.
And no one has said what you just said. And it's interesting. No one has brought up what you just brought up. But Saturday morning, I was at a youth conference about getting ready to go preach. I was standing side stage behind some LED walls, and I was looking out to a sanctuary full of teenagers. It was a youth rally. And I had my mic in my hand, and the worship team was leading, and they were singing the song, your name is the greatest, your name, that Chris Salmon song.
Yep.
And as they were singing that, I was getting ready to get up and go preach just at the end of that song, and in that moment, I had my eyes closed. I was just praying, like, Lord, use me today. And right as they were all singing Holy Forever, I had this vision. God gave me this, like, snapshot picture of a soccer stadium of people singing that song in Iran. And I'm getting ready to get out and preach. And if you had told me 2 weeks ago that was going to happen, I would have been like, buddy, you don't know Iran. We'd all be murdered. But we're sitting here, and you're saying that, and it's actually a possibility,
David, I've had the same vision, and I see the crowd singing the song, and it just echoing through that stadium and that town, that city, and that country. And I mean, it sends chills up my back to think about it.
Isn't that incredible?
Yep.
It was a crazy day, buddy. I mean, again, I'm going to tell you stuff I don't tell anybody else in an interview, but we have been talking for 11 months with some of our dear friends. They're the ones who did the I Can Only Imagine movie, the first one and the second one. And
we've had them on this podcast before you.
Yeah, they're amazing people.
Yep.
And Bart and Sydney, and Scott Brickle. And so on Saturday, while all this is happening, after like almost a year of just kind of talking and dreaming, and, they wanted to see I Can Only Imagine release, the second one released, which just released a few weeks ago, before they like really actually decided yes or no for sure. But we've been talking about doing a movie, about my life. And on Saturday, that thing became official, And I told Scott Brickle, as we were signing the movie to actually like begin to be developed, I said, man, wouldn't it be crazy if we were together at a movie premiere of me sharing my gospel story in Iran,
Oh, I know.
And this is what God can do. It would be a miracle that, like, I would escape Iran in 1979, come to America, become a Christian, become a pastor, and then I would get to go back and evangelize Iran, and maybe my story would be watched by people in Iran and hear about the Lord,
David,
only God.
I know. We serve a mighty God, don't we?
Amen.
Oh, man. David, I don't know where to go from there. I mean, I had other questions. I don't know what to do.
Well, I can tell you where I'd love to go from there. I know you love the Lord.
Yes,
all
sir.
the years I've known you, man, your passion for God is contagious. And I just plead with you, man, like you're doing now. Just use your influence, Bill, to get people to think about this moment as more than a political moment, you know, but to see this through the lens of what God is up to. This is a moment where the church in America can join forces with the church in Iran and say, let's go get them. Let's go win them, you know. And I'd love for people to see this as this could actually be our finest hour. You know, what would happen if the hotbed of revival in the Middle East was actually Iran in a few years?
Oh, I know. It's mind-boggling.
So, man, use your influence for that.
Mind-boggling. Yeah. But, you know, David, it's easy. We forget, you know, Jesus is Lord at First Baptist Church on the back pew, right, just like he is in Iran, just like he is in Israel. And sometimes we forget that, you know, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it, thinking, you know, this is too big, but it's all in his timing. And I think we had to go through a lot of this because now the story is so much more impactful.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You know, if you had said to the people that were stoning Stephen, that moment, one day the guy holding your cloaks called Paul, you know, who's an accomplice to Stephen's murder. If you had said that guy would one day be the greatest church planter the church has ever known, a guy who wrote a quarter of the Bible, you know, the Apostle Paul, they'd have been like, there's no way. But God is the God of, you know, of the possible. If you had said that one day, you know, I would be sitting here talking to you about the possibility of people in Iran watching a gospel movie, you know, about a refugee who got saved and came back home.
I know.
He'd be like, there's no way, but God is a God of impossible. Hey, man, if you'd have told me we'd have the Davis Cup in Birmingham, I'd have said that's impossible. You made that happen, bro. You brought that to town.
David, you know, when you do the movie, I hope you get to share a few scenes from New York City when we were there.
Oh, no, when we were at the U.S. Open? What is more dramatic? Me escaping Iran, holding my dad's hand in that airport as we're trying to get out of there, or when the cop almost arrested us for trying to scalp tickets?
Well, look, surely you going to Sean Hannity's house to eat dinner will be in the movie, right?
That was awesome. That is just one of those moments in my life. Your listeners don't know this, so let me just catch them up for your listeners. We go to New York City to go to the U.S. Open because the Busseys love tennis and the Nassers love tennis, and so we're there a couple of days. One night we're going to go see the Open, and it just starts raining, you know, so we can't make it out to the you know, Arthur Ashe Stadium, and so we're like, what are we going to do? We got the night off, and Bill calls Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity says, come to my house for dinner. So we drove to Hannity's house. I remember thinking, what just in the coattails of the great Bill Bussey.
Oh, listen, know? David, what was even funnier?
Had the funnest dinner.
What was funny is me trying to, I said, now we got another couple with us. And he said, well, bring him on. I said, well, let me just prep you here. He is Iranian. But he is one of my best friends. And he's like, how well do you know him?
That's awesome.
I know him pretty good. He's an evangelist. He's all right. You were standing right next to me, and I was trying not to give it all away.
Yeah, that was so fun, man.
Oh, that is funny. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Well, David, listen, I know you're busy. I know you're tired, and you're in big demand. But I want you to know we're going to be praying for the people of Iran.
Amen.
And look, you know, and a lot of people will say this, that freedom, you have to be willing to die for it. And if you're not, you're not worthy to hold it. So I hope the people of Iran will use this very historic window to make a historic change in their country for their kids and their grandkids and generations to come. And, man, they could just be such a shining star in the Middle East.
Amen. Amen, man. Amen.
David, take care of yourself, and we'll be in touch as this continues to unfold. Thank you for making time with us.
I love you, buddy. Let's go back to New York.
Let's do it.
And go see some more tennis.
David Nasser.
We can buy our tickets beforehand so we don't have to stop them and get almost arrested.
Look, I'm going to say this. David Nasser, my favorite Iranian. Okay, absolutely. Favorite Iranian. Give Jennifer and the rest of the family a hug from me and Betty. And if you're down our way, come see us. We're overdue a pontoon ride, too.
Come on. I'll take that.
Thank you,
I love
David.
You, brother.
See you, buddy.
Talk to you soon.
All right, that's David Nasser on the happenings in Iran this week. And we'll be right back on Bubba on the Lake.
It's Bubba on the Lake. Bubba on the Lake.
Illuminate your night fishing adventures with the ultimate in submersible fishing light technology. The Green Monster Fishing Light attracts bait fish and game fish in all water environments. Turn any dock into a vibrant feeding frenzy. Compact, tough, and energy efficient. The Green Monster Fishing Light will provide endless hours of family entertainment and enhanced nighttime visibility for safe docking. No dock, no problem. With our 24-inch portable Green Monster Fishing Light, start landing trophy fish tonight. Visit thegreenmonsterfishinglight.com.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Spend your mornings with breakfast at Fanny's. Afternoons, you can explore over 100 miles of trails through Russell Forest. And for dinner, how about the Southern farm-to-table flavors at Springhouse? Whether you're here for the weekend or you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
Since 1965, Bice Motors has been Lake Martin area's home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram sales and service. For 60 years, families have trusted Bice Motors in Alexander City for honest deals, friendly service, and the best selection around. Our team of certified technicians services most all makes and models, plus we've got a tire center, parts department, and a full collision center to keep you rolling. Bice Motors, your hometown Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer since 1965. In Alex City or online at bicemotors.com.
Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Dr. Dudney has been my dentist for about 20 years. He does a great job taking care of my teeth, making sure my cavities are good, cleaning my teeth, and also adding veneers to my smile, which was a game changer. Now, Dr. Dudney and his friendly staff can do the same for you. I ask you to give them a chance. Just talk to them, no cost. Just make an appointment, see what you need, see if you can have a better smile and feel better about yourself today. Give them a call at 205-663-6545 or tedudney.com. Well, folks, what a great show we've had. Andy Erwin has been here to talk about I Can Only Imagine 2. We've also had David Nasser here to talk about the happenings in Iran, and just a marvelous conversation with both of these great Christian men that I am very proud to call friends. And we're bringing in the closer here now, the one and only Betty Lou. Betty, how are you, honey?
I'm doing well. I don't feel worthy to be sitting here after that lineup you just read off,
Well,
but hey.
You know, that's the thing I like about this podcast. We throw a lot of pitches, and, you know, it's kind of like opening a can of mixed nuts. You just never know what you're going to get.
I guess so.
Every segment kind of stands on its own.
Right.
And everybody always wants to hear from you. I'm always honored to have you on here, and it's been a crazy, crazy couple of weeks, hasn't it, dear?
It has. Yeah. You've been very busy with your Jack State job and those commitments there. And so you were busy the last 2 weeks with that, really. More busy than usual, I'll say, you know.
And not been able to talk.
Right. And the laryngitis kind of threw everything off. So glad to be back on and glad you feel better and all that good stuff.
Well, and you've done what you could to try to make me feel better. We have an old convertible that I've had for a long time. It's kind of been a toy. It's not worth a whole lot, so we haven't got rid of it. And we popped the top down today. The weather was so beautiful.
Oh, it's been great.
And we got out and rode for a little while, and it was funny. I always enjoy doing that with you. because I always joke. I said, hey, I got my convertible and my blonde. How much? I mean, life's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I had yacht rock radio going. I mean, we were singing to the top of our lungs. Most of the lyrics we kind of knew. So anyway, it was karaoke in the convertible.
Well, there was one point we had some road construction. It was 2-lane road we were on out in the country. And the guys, the flagmen that were there, were looking at us when we went by, and I said, Betty, you know what they're thinking? Hey, that guy, he's got a convertible and a blonde. He's in business.
No, they were probably thinking, please don't let us make the wrong call and somebody get hurt out here. I mean, there were a lot of cars they were trying to direct, but anyway.
You kept singing that song. I don't know the name of it, by Riley Green.
No, I did not.
Worst Way?
I did not keep singing that song. You're the one that keeps singing that song. Love you, Riley, but I was not singing that song.
That's
a
powerful tune.
It is, yeah. I won't say what it is, but anyway, yeah. Go ahead.
It's called
It's a great song.
The Worst Way.
Very pretty song.
It is. It's a pretty song. That's
it
one
is
way
a
to put
pretty
it.
song. It really is. So anyway.
Yeah, I think it falls under the category of PDS.
Oh yeah. Well, let's don't even. Yeah, and we're
I'll
not going to explain.
I'll leave it there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you're the one that educated me on that.
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't want to call out anybody, but Riley's mom might have let me in on that. Apparently, she picked up a little lingo on the road. But anyway,
I saw Riley last Sunday, and I said, hey, I want you to know my wife learned a new term from your mother. And he said, what's that? And he was laughing. He said, yeah, she went on the road with us for about 2 weeks, and she picked up several new little sayings that maybe she shouldn't be sharing with everybody.
Oh, well.
The road is rough out there.
Yeah. You got to just grab entertainment where you can, I guess,
Yeah, you do.
So,
we're very proud of Riley. He's done very well.
He has.
And we're excited for him and where his career is going to go. And he's actually going to be on a podcast. We're going to wait till we can get him in studio. But he has some commitments that's going to bring him to the area later this summer. And he's committed to come in and sit down and do a few segments with us here on the podcast. So
his acting debut is actually coming up. From what I understand, I don't remember exactly when. It's like a spinoff of the Yellowstone show.
Well, if you want a cowboy, Riley's right.
Oh yeah,
up your alley.
He got the look. Yeah,
big old tall, lanky.
Yep. Mm-hmm. There you go.
And you
way to go.
The connection is you're from the same part.
Yeah, he's from Jacksonville. We're from Jacksonville
area. Even more so, you're from that part of the Williams community where he is from,
right?
And where he still resides. And then you were actually neighbors to his grandparents, right?
Correct. Yeah, growing up. And his grandmother Nancy was my Sunday school teacher.
And she was instrumental in getting you in church.
She was. Yeah, she really was. Yeah, knew
small
Patsy,
world,
his Aunt Patsy, and Rory was a good friend of mine. His uncle.
Oh
yeah. Rory's actually a year younger than me, but we, came up together in school and all that.
And I've known Roy from playing baseball over the years and everything. You told a funny story about Rory that I think you ought to share here
Joes
now.
And Barbies.
Yes, please tell that.
It was funny because, on any given pretty day or whatever, we would always have to go to one house or the other. And he always had his G.I. Joes and I had my Barbies, and we'd always just play, G.I. Joes and Barbies like they dated, or like,
No, G.I.
Joe.
We're talking about Rory Bonds. Yeah. Just to be clear.
Yes.
Okay.
And the G.I. Joes, if I remember it right, I don't know, he may call me and say, you're full of it. But anyway. But if I remember right, we'd play like, the G.I. Joes had gone off to war and they're back or something, you know what I mean? And here's Barbie and the wife and all this. So anyway, and just a home scenario like you always did. Anytime I played Barbies with somebody, it was always whatever we were doing. Like when I would go over to, one of my friends had a piano. So whenever we would act like Barbie had been playing the piano or something, you know what I mean? We'd grab stuff from whatever was around us and use that scenario to make up. Make believe's a powerful thing when you're a kid. And
you had to.
Yeah, you didn't have anything else. You didn't have all this. iPad and all the TV channel. We had 3 channels.
Yeah.
On the TV.
We had 2 good ones, one fuzzy.
Yeah.
No cable.
And one of them was PBS, so you don't get much on that. I mean, you outgrew Sesame Street after a while, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, we had to, get some entertainment where we could. And
that's so funny because we used to watch the Electric Company when we were in 3rd grade. And I knew it was on PBS Channel 7, which was our local PBS station. It was up on Cheehaw. Mm-hmm. And anytime we would go to Cheehaw Mountain, their transmitter building was up there.
Yeah.
And I thought those stars were in that building. And I wanted to hang around the door and see.
Oh, Morgan Freeman was on there.
Morgan Freeman come out, the easy speller.
Yes.
And so,
I tell you talk about coming a long way, honey. He's been in every time I turn around, there's some movie he was in that I don't even remember him being in, but there he is again.
I know.
Yeah.
He's played God several times. That's a pretty big role.
Yeah, and he's like in all kind of commercials now about different things. So anyway, he's made it. Pretty big from the Electric Company.
Can you give me that stack of papers over there behind you with that big clip on it right there? Yep, that one right there. I'm going to need that in just a minute.
Well,
Betty,
there you go.
Thank you. Always good to have extra hand here in the studio. Well, it's been a crazy show. We've covered a lot of topics, been a long way, and Betty, you're the icing on the cake, as always.
Well, thank you. And I did enjoy, you talked about Andy Erwin. I so enjoyed that movie. I'm not real sure I didn't like the second one, I Can Only Imagine 2, better than the I Can Only Imagine the first one.
I told him that.
I'd have to go back and watch the other one, I guess.
I'm not saying
this one was so good. I mean, but the first one was great too. So I don't know. It was just a great movie. Y'all go see it if you haven't, or stream it when you can, or whatever.
I told Andy, and you'll hear this when you listen back, that the first one was great. It was a great story about him and his father, and they had this terrible relationship growing up. I didn't have that experience. I had a very good father, who I lost when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. But this one, dealing with crisis of faith, when you're living your dream and everything just seems to run off the rail. And
all of a sudden it goes,
yep. And your prayers are not being answered. And it's like the song, Even If, they say you can move mountains with the faith of a mustard seed. And that's about all I got right now.
Yep.
We've all been there. And it was just, it spoke to me. And I admitted to Andy, I cried during the movie, and I don't like to cry, especially in movies.
Well, you were emotional wasn't it that whole day for some reason? You woke up emotional. I don't really, and that's not like you.
That whole week.
You were just tired, I think. Really.
I think I was tired, and I told you, and I think, being a competitor growing up, playing sports, and I know God ultimately wins. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've read the back of the book.
Right.
But I like to see wins along the way.
Right.
And there was just so many people that I knew who had lost children, who had marriages in turmoil, sickness. Mm-hmm. You name it. It just seems like there was just a plate full of them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just, I was just praying that we get some wins here somewhere. We need something positive,
Yeah.
And I was just, I don't know, I was a little beside myself. And the movie spoke to that exact issue to me, It hit home.
Yeah.
It's just like how sometimes you flip open your Bible and you're struggling with something and it's right there. How many times has people told you that? That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, we're in the season of life, too, where everybody's dealing with aging parents. If they haven't already passed, they're either have, I don't know, dementia or Alzheimer's or something, who knows what all they, are dealing with. And
seems like it's constant hospitals. And
it is.
Procedures and all that stuff.
So, between that and this year, like you were listening, all of them. Deaths and families and marital problems and this and that. It's a heavy burden.
And some of it, you have no control over. Some of it is just senseless, self-inflicted to a large degree.
Well, we are our own worst enemy in many instances. Well, we really are. We just can't seem to get out of her own way. You know?
And a lot of people will say, "Hey, how you doing?" And I say, "I'm doing fine. The problems I got, I brought on myself."
Yeah.
If I'd have just sit there, I wouldn't have had that problem. But I had to, do something, get involved, whatever. And you bring those own problems. Well, Betty, thanks. I appreciate you being here on our closing segment. Everybody always loves to hear from you, and rightly so. You're a ray of sunshine.
Well, thank you. It's time to go barbecue that chicken now. Back to clanging the pots and pans, y'all.
Oh, what a good wife. It's a blessed thing, isn't it? Oh, me. Well, there's so much more I could say. I know we're probably running a little long here too. And we missed a week with the voice. It's still not 100%. If you can tell, during each segment, it begins to fade away toward the end of the segment. So we're going to wrap it up here, and we have a very exciting tech episode coming up with Stuart going to get his Cybertruck. You don't want to miss that. I want to thank Andy Erwin, David Nasser, and, of course, our very own Betty Lou Bussey for their time spent with us this time. Folks, thank you so much. We want to remind you we're in the Mellow Yellow studio. Our website is bubbaonthelake.com. Send me a message. Give me some feedback about the segments you're hearing. If you like them, you want to hear more of them, don't care for them, whatever the case may be, send it to bubba@bubbaonthelake.com. And, of course, we always have our message line, 308-BIG-LAKE. 308-BIG-LAKE. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications. We don't want you to miss a minute of the show. Also, follow us on our social media outlets, including Instagram, Bubba on the Lake. Those are very, very important. We appreciate our sponsors. You hear them on here each week. Reach out to them, support them, use them when you can, and we sure do appreciate it. And until we sail into port again, remember, God loves you, and we do too. Thank you for being part of Bubba on the Lake.
You're listening to Bubba on the Lake.
Hit me bad.
A production of Intergalactic Pants and Tees.
Just got that new boat? Let Sunrise Docks protect your investment with Swift Shield boat covers, Neptune boat lifts, and easy ports for your personal watercraft. Plus, they have composite decking that stays cool, designed with your feet in mind. Sunrise Docks is always first in quality, first in service, and first in customer satisfaction. Right off Highway 63, your Lake Martin headquarters, with 2 barges and the most experienced boat lift crew on the lake. Sunrise Docks is your lake life expert. Call 256-392-5200.
On the water or off, experience lake life to the fullest at Russell Lands on Lake Martin. Want to know what's going on around Lake Martin? Check out the calendar of seasonal events that include Fridays on the Green, naturalist events, fireworks, concerts, poker runs, boat shows, juried art shows, boat parades, and much more. If you're here for the weekend or if you've made your home at the lake, Russell Lands is where community and the land come together. To learn more about upcoming events, visit russelllands.com. Come see what lake life is all about.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
This podcast is brought to you in part by Russell Lands, Coke, Buffalo Wild Wings, Southern Immediate Care, Guaranteed Labels, Central State Bank, Sunrise Docks, Banker's Bounty, Dr. Thomas Dudney, and the Green Monster Fishing Light.
Hey, it's